Shalom, Israel. My name is Officer Kayad, out of I.S.U.P.K, Jamaica. I.S.U.P.K started 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I.S.U.P.K is run by Commanding General YAHANNA, the one man with the rank and the authority to lead Israel at this time. I say Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Barakatam to my brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alatan Ba'asham Yahweh to my sisters. Alright, so today we are going to, touch upon the topic of paternity. So a MP, brought out in Parliament that, he is basically suggesting that paternity test being done, right after a child is born, you understand? For the reason that, many of these, many of our women, are passing on the children to wrong father. You understand? Which, that just lead us straight back to the Bible, to the scriptures. Where the Most High say, you must not commit adultery. You get me, I say? So it proves that, eventually the solution to all of our problem here in Jamaica as the children of Israel is within the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. We keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High is the solution to our problem. So if you want to solve the paternity problem, man getting jacket and them thing there, we need to go back to the laws, statutes, and commandments. If you want to stop the high murder rate in Jamaica, we need to go back to the laws, statutes, and commandments where it says, thou shalt not murder, or you must love your brother as yourself. And the different precepts concerning that. You understand? If you want to stop black people problem here in Jamaica, you need to go back to the law, statutes, and commandments. So without further ado, we're going to jump in at the tape. In the meanwhile, like this video, subscribe, leave no questions in the comment section. We'll get back to them as soon as possible. You understand?
The cases of domestic violence that lead to murder are high, Madam Speaker. According to Dr. Herbert Gale, doing a study conduct here in Jamaica, one of the causes of domestic violence stems from paternal issues. Madam Speaker, as a legislator, I will be moving a motion for the DNA paternity test to be done at the birth of the child in order to determine fatherhood of that said child. This, Madam Speaker, I believe will stem majority of the domestic violence in our society.
You might just contribute more to domestic violence, because when a man find out, say, at birth, that, that youth cannot feel, see, what you think him about do? Domestic violence, that again, him probably a pre-for killer same way. You get me, I say, how about making it illegal to commit adultery? You get me, I say, like how it says in the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You understand? That way, a man is sure that the child is his, and upon this paternity test at birth, he's confident that this child is his. You get me, I say? Yeah, but we not say the wrong move him make. In fact, it would be a good move, because in some cases it discourages women from, cheating on them husband, committing adultery. You understand? But at the same time, it still don't rule out the fact that some women are still do it. Rest assured this government, the PMP and JLP, this system that we are under can't help with. So them even making it illegal or not legal, it now go solve our problem. You know what will solve our problem? We coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments at the Most High as the children of Israel. That is the ultimate solution to our problem. You get me, I say? All right. And as usual, we are jumping at some scriptures. We are telling you what the Most High say about this. See? So this is the book of Exodus chapter 20 and 14. And it says, thou shalt not commit adultery. What is adultery? You understand? Adultery is when a woman sleep with another man that is not her husband. You understand? And adultery is also when a man sleep with another man's wife. You get me, I say? So that is the reason why we have the paternity problem there. You know what I mean? Where a man get jacket. You understand? Because there is no brotherhood. You understand? A man see a woman, knowing that she have a husband and sleep with her, or the woman, knowing she have a husband and she go sleep with the next man. No brotherhood and sisterhood. You know what I mean? But the Most High, you know what I mean, gave us the solution to that. The solution is don't commit adultery. You understand? And there's so many problems that arise, you know what I mean, when adultery commit. And we are going to get to that in our next scripture. So the next scripture we are going to pull right now is Leviticus 20 and 10. And this is what it says. And the man that commit adultery with another man's wife, even he that commit adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. And you might say, boy, this is harsh. You check it, it is not harsh. You know what I mean? It's not harsh. You know what I mean? Because the problems that arise with adultery, see, it's worse than that. You get what I say? When a woman commit adultery, you know what I mean? And the man find out, say, boy, them youth you not feel, and find out, say, yo, the woman commit adultery upon him. Him leave. You understand? And in most cases, him leaving a child that is his. So she previously probably have a child for him, but the new one are not for him. So him leave that child. And what happened? That child now have no protection. So she get a next man now. And that next man molest that child, and that child become, you know what I mean, some sexual confused and become a monster in society. You understand? Or that child grow without the proper role model because you know what I mean, stepfather and a father, you know. You see? A stepfather can play the father role, but at the end of the day, him now go have that connection to the child in most cases as the father would. You understand? So the child can grow without the proper male role model to lead him in the right direction. When become a murderer in society. You know what I mean? Become a boss head, start boss people, you know what I mean? You know the thing already. Because I'm not a real role model for enforce, you know what I mean, discipline and respect for your authority from beginning. So him grow, and by him reach 14-year-old, the mother can't deal with him again. The gang become him father. You know what I mean? Clans and one another. You know what I mean? Become him father. And become, you know what I mean, a menace to society, so to speak. You understand? So these are the problems that can arise. Another problem, the child becoming sexually confused and become a homosexual or a lesbian because of the molestation that happened under the mother watch, because the mother can't really watch the child. And in most cases, what these single mothers will do is defend the man over the children because the man is the one bringing in the bread. You understand? And there's so many cases of that. You understand? So, you know what I mean? This is not harsh when the Bible says, yo, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death, because the end result of what will happen is worse than death, brother. They can raise a child that can come and be the worst monster, you know what I mean, to society, you know, because of that adultery, because that of the breaking up of the family that take place during adultery. You get me, I say? All right, so remember me tell you, say, boy, you know what I mean, the dangers of adultery, you know what I mean. I will show you a scripture. This is Ecclesiasticus. You understand? You know what I mean? The danger for you committing adultery, there's consequences. You might not, we might not under the laws or the punishment of the laws right now, the judgments of the laws, based off of the priesthood. See? But rest assured that punishment come for breaking the Most High laws, regardless. So even though we're not under the punishments of the laws by the priesthood, the Most High will punish you for the adultery. So that is why you find some man kill them woman nowadays. You know what I mean? And they must say, yo, violence against woman is wrong and rare. You know what I mean? Violence against anybody is wrong. But remember, the judgment of the Most High still stands. All right. So with that, I'm going to jump in at the book of Ecclesiasticus 23 and 22. We'll read down to 25. This is what it says. Thus shall it go also with the wife that leaveth her husband and bringeth in an ear by another. You know what I mean? So this is the woman that cheats on her husband and bring in a jacket. You know what I mean? Because them things are not just, you know what I mean? Them things are not just reside in the garrison, you know, in the ghetto community, you know, even the, you know what I mean, the upper class, the bigger heads them in a society have to go through them things too. So I guess that is why You know what I mean? These elected officials are trying to put it on the books, you know what I mean, for DNA test to be done after, you know what I mean, the child is born, you know what I mean, upon birth, you know, because them are face it too, no for them end up of it, you know what I mean, mind, you know what I mean, get ears, you know what I mean, to feed them hard work that is not their children. You know what I mean? Somebody else child come inherit them hard work and them find out late after all the investment. All them end up kill all the woman too. You understand? So watch this now. It says, verse 23, for first she shall be this first Slakia, for first she has disobeyed the law of the Most High, because she broke the law that says thou shalt not commit adultery. That is the first thing she do wrong. See? Secondly, she has trespassed against her own husband. So the second trespass where she make is she cheat on her husband. You know what I mean? She played the war. You understand? And thirdly, she has played the war in adultery. You understand? So she played the war in adultery. She become a whore now. So, you know what I mean? For those that think that, well, if you now sell front road and back road, you're not a whore. Rest assured, if you cheat by your husband, you're a whore. You know what I mean? The definition of whore is to have more than one man. Tell us something. A woman is not supposed to have more than one man throughout her entire life. Time. You know what I mean? Your cherry only pop once. You know what I mean? Your cherry can't pop and heal back and pop again. That goes to show that you belong to one man. You know what I mean? For your entire life. You know what I mean? So a woman is not supposed to have more than one husband throughout her entire life, and sex is marriage. It's like you get, you know what I mean? You buy a new item. You see, once you pull the package, it's not new again, you know. That is all the most time make a woman. See, that's why our cherry get popped once. Once she pop, she no new again. And the man that pull it, she belong to that man. You understand? Yeah, man. So this is what it says. See, she has played the war in adultery and brought children by another man. You understand? So don't feel like say, you know what I mean, you playing the war is just your consequences alone. You know what I mean? You playing the war is basically you're causing it, you're making it bad for your children as well. You understand? This is what it says, verse 24. She shall be brought out into the congregation, and inquisition shall be made of her children. So, you know what I mean? Your children now have to bear the brunt of what you did. That is why when the man find out, say, yo, I no feel you them here, him left. You understand? And in some cases, him find out late, you know what I mean? And him remember the whole the investment when put in at them youth, you send them to school, you know what I mean? Anything them need, clothes, shoes, everything. You know what I mean? The emotional connection when him have to the youth them, and then find out, say, oh, you know what I mean? Them youth are not feel. And enough time the man them only find out when them they are foreign and them are file for them youth. And then the paternity test have done to prove say for them youth. And then them find out say not for them. You know what I mean? That will lick a man chip. So now with that now, you can basically cut off the youth from in entire inheritance. Or cut him off, not knowing him father. You know what I mean? That create a lot of psychological damage to that child. And also to the man. You understand? So inquisition shall be made of her children. So inquisition are gonna make to find out who for you them here. You know what I mean? Some way, shape or form. You know what I mean? Something like happen. And the truth are gonna reveal one day. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be devastated to the man, the woman, and the child. You see it? One day. And we see how enough of this play out in society where the man end up kill the woman. And I'll kill the youth there. You see it? This is the judgment of the Most High. Because even though, as I say, we have the priesthood, see, the Levitical priesthood will carry out the judgment, the Most High still carry out the judgment in different ways. You understand? So it's not a thing that you've been doing it for years and thinks about you escape it. Judgment are forward in some way, shape, or form. It might not be death, it might be something worse. You understand? Continue reading, verse 25. Her children shall not take root, and that reach. You know what I mean? The youth them what you see right now, them not take root because them don't know them real father. You know what I mean? Them real father no grow with them. Or it might not be paternity problem, it might just simply be the man find out that the woman I want or and him just left. So he leave where him leave now, it's devastating to the children. The children, you know what I mean? Them left without a protection or a defense. Or mother can't defend them and protect them. You understand? So, you know what I mean? Them not take no route. Them end up follow the wrong company. You understand? Them end up be violated growing up and don't take any root. You understand? Continue reading. And our branch shall bring forth no fruit. You know what I mean? And our branch bring forth no fruit, meaning she not happy with where children them become because them not take no root. You understand? So the solution to the paternity problem is, you know what I mean, don't commit adultery. You know what I mean? That is the solution to that problem in Jamaica because we are the children of Israel. You know what I mean? We are bound to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. So if we don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, this will forever be our problem. You know what I mean? Woman giving man born. You know what I mean? In society, you know what I mean? We make it enough people make it like a joke thing when a man get born and mine a jacket and all them thing, but it's a real serious thing. A life and death situation that a woman cheating on her man is a life and death situation. No care what no man want to tell you. The care no man want to say, but yo, if a girl cheat for me, rare sympathy thing, I will regular make me sleep with next man woman and rare. No. You know what I mean? I just say you can't trust woman. Like I tell. Me the woman where him love and attached to me, feel woman cheat upon him and you see. You know what I mean? What is feel mental state? He might pray for kill her. You understand? No make nobody fool and no care much of a careless them is or them feel like them a player. Them woman cheat on them, a death and destruction them a pray. No make nobody fool you. You hear that? Yeah, man. So I go jump to another scripture, and this is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 22. And this goes hand in hand with don't commit adultery. This is what it says. Wife, submit yourself unto your own husband. So you need to submit yourself to your husband. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, you need to shut your mouth and listen to what your husband have to say. Make him lead because I'm the leader. You understand? And well, we understand say out in the world, you know what I mean? A Jake in the world is not a righteous man. So sometimes it might, you know what I mean? He might half. He not keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, so he is not a righteous man. But regardless of anything, he is your husband and he is your head. You know what I mean? The only thing, if him tell you to sin, you're not supposed to sin. That's why we implore you to come to the I.S.U.P.K and learn the law, statutes, and commandments, so you can know right from wrong. You understand? And don't be an obstacle to each other, leading each other in the wrong direction because you don't know the laws. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? But the man is the head and you must submit yourself to your own husband, meaning you must not submit yourself to another person's husband. Your husband is your husband. Regardless of how much wife him have from your husband, him a your husband, you know what I mean? Him you submit yourself to, not to your pastor. You know what I mean? And the blame of this, I tell you, rude boy, the blame of this go to the Christian church. See, the Christian church teach our woman them say, yo, you know, married until a man put a ring by your finger. So, you know what I mean? Any man liable for own that youth, yeah, what she have. Any man liable for own it because she been sleeping around because she not think none of them are husband. So the best man, where she feel like you mind the youth, I go own that youth, yeah, until him grow and start favor another man. You know what I mean? And the cat come out of the bag and he decide say, yo, I'm going to kill her. You know what I mean? So if you don't want to save on your life, you know what I mean? You do the right thing, you keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. If you don't want to stay out of jailhouse, brother, keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You understand? Continue reading. As unto the Lord. And it says, submit yourself unto your husband as unto the Lord. Meaning, same like on the think on love Jesus, I see him way on must love on the husband. You understand? Yeah, man. So you never see Jesus yet. You know what I mean? You never see Jesus one day in your life, but you reverence Jesus. And anything you think Jesus is against, you don't do. Well, you know what I mean? So I don't like to think, but give your husband that same reverence. You understand? Yeah, man. So, what do you think? Let me know. You know what I mean? Will this paternity, you know what I mean, a birth thing, you know what I mean, solve anything? You know what I mean? Let me know. And in the meanwhile, just like the video, share on all social media platforms. So if you're not on Twitter, if you're not on Instagram, share the link, pass it around in some way, clip it. You know what I mean? And make it go viral. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, because the most high, you know what I mean? The knowledge of the most high must go viral. You get to me, I say, yeah, man, you must make it go viral because this will solve our problems here in Jamaica. Murder now will stop. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, murder now will stop once you're not keeping the most high law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I mean? The adultery, the paternity frauds, them now go stop and go continue to get bun boy. You know what I mean? Because now keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the most high. You understand? All of the things them where you see are go on, now go stop unless you keep the most high law, statutes, and commandments. Unless you come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the most high. Come to the I.S.U.P.K. Make we teach you what go on. Time when you come out of the Christian church, out of Rastafariism, you know what I mean? Because those are strong delusion. And can't help you, you're Israelite. You is not no religion, you're Israelites. And you have a contract with the most high and you cannot come out of this contract. You understand? And with that, shalom.